So, congratulations, you finished the first unit in the course, critical reading, and now you're heading on to unit two, which is the writing process. So, you might be thinking right off the top of your head, what exactly is the writing process? And basically, it's the steps that you go through as a writer when writing any paper. So, first, you have to think about what you're going to say in your paper, then, you draft your paper, then, you revise it to make it, make sense and be organized, and then you edit it for grammar and punctuation. Now, this unit is as foundational to writing as our last unit was. Our last unit was really focusing on getting you to analyze ideas so that you can put them in your paper and be logical in your papers. This unit is really about kind of the nitty gritty nuts and bolts of how do you actually write a college academic essay. So the first thing we're covering this week is the writing process. And then next week, we're going to cover a little bit more of the structure of an essay and how that looks. Now, what I recommend for these next 2 weeks is keep a notebook at hand and be writing notes constantly as you're going through these chapters. The more notes you take about definitions of things, page numbers to refer back to, the better you will be throughout the rest of the course. Because as you're going through these different essays, you're going to want to refer back to some of the material in these chapters, probably repeatedly. So that's why I recommend taking good notes. Now, before you dive into the textbook for this week, I recommend actually looking ahead, go to Unit 3, Project 3, because Project 3 is your first essay, and it's a narrative essay. So I would recommend looking at the assignment, a description of that, finding out what the narrative essay is. That way, when you're reading through the chapters for these next 2 weeks, you kind of have this in the back of your mind of pay attention for when they say narrative essay. So like when you read about how to plan for a narrative essay or a thesis sentence for a narrative essay, you can kind of go, aha, maybe I'll make a note of that in my notebook so that when we get to the actual writing process in about a month from now, 3 to 4 weeks, you have that information on hand and can easily refer back to it. All right, so what are you doing this week? You're going to be reading the section that's the overview of the writing process. There's 5 chapters in it. It says beginning the writing process, planning, drafting, revising, and editing. So you're going to read those 5 chapters and then talk about the writing process in the forum. So the goal of this week's forum post is that you're going to really have an in-depth understanding of the benefits of the different stages of the writing process and kind of know why you're going to go through them before you kind of apply them in writing Project 3. All right, so that's the goal. If you have extra time at the end of the week and you're thinking, I'd like to work ahead, I would recommend doing quiz 2A because that's going to cover the writing process. So it doesn't hurt to work ahead this week if you have that time. All right, that's all I have to say for an overview of this week. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to text me or send me an email. I'm on my phone quite a lot, so I should get your messages really quick.